Welcome to another edition of Messianic Moments. Rebbitzin Jackie posted this story several years ago on Facebook, and it recently came back up as a memory. Let me share it with you. Once upon a time, two brothers who lived on adjoining farms fell into conflict. It was the first serious rift in 40 years of farming side by side, sharing everything, machinery, trading labor and goods as needed, all without a hitch. Then the long collaboration fell apart. It began with a small misunderstanding, and it grew into a major difference, and finally it exploded into an exchange of bitter words, followed by weeks of silence. One morning there was a knock on one of the brothers' door. He opened it to find a man with a carpenter's toolbox. "I'm looking for a few days' work," the carpenter said. "Perhaps you would have a few small jobs here and there I could help with. Could I help you?" "Yes," said the older brother. "I do have a job for you. Look across the creek at that farm. That's my neighbor. In fact, it's my younger brother. Last week there was a meadow between us. He recently took his bulldozer to the river levee, and now there's a creek between us. Well, he may have done that to spite me, but I'll do him one better. See that pile of lumber by the barn? I want you to build me a fence, an 8-foot high fence, so I won't need to see his place or his face anymore." The carpenter said, "I think I understand the situation. Show me the nails and the post hole digger, and I'll be able to do a job that pleases you." The older brother had to go to town, so he helped the carpenter get the materials ready, and then he was off for the day. The carpenter worked hard all that day, measuring, sawing, and nailing. About sunset, when the farmer returned, the carpenter had just finished his job. The farmer's eyes opened wide. His jaw dropped. There was no fence there at all. It was a bridge that stretched from one side of the creek to the other, a fine piece of work with handrails and all. And the neighbor, his younger brother, was coming toward them, his hand outstretched. "You are quite a fellow to build this bridge after all I've said and done." The two brothers stood at each end of the bridge, and then they met in the middle, taking each other's hand. They turned to see the carpenter hoist his toolbox onto his shoulder. "No, wait, stay a few days. I've lots of other projects for you," said the older brother. "I'd love to stay on," the carpenter said, "but I have many more bridges to build." Just remember this. God won't ask what kind of car you drove, but he'll ask how many people you helped to get where they needed to go. God won't ask the square footage of your house, but he'll ask how many people you welcomed into your home. God won't ask about the clothes you had in your closet, but he'll ask how many you helped to clothe. God won't ask how many friends you had, but he'll ask how many people to whom you were a friend. God won't ask in what neighborhood you lived, but he'll ask how you treated your neighbors. God won't ask about the color of your skin, but he'll ask about the content of your character. God won't ask why it took you so long to seek salvation, but he'll lovingly take you to your mansion in heaven and not to the gates of hell. God commands us to forgive. Our prayers are blocked when we harbor unforgiveness. Remember, mercy triumphs over judgment. Do you have unforgiveness in your heart? If you do, please pray this simple prayer with me. Lord, forgive me for harboring unforgiveness in my heart. I purpose to build bridges, not fences. Thank you, Lord, for forgiving me, and I now forgive myself. Now go build some bridges. Till next time, shalom, shalom.
And some glad morning I'll take flight to the house of the risen sun. House of